The upcoming Supergirl reboot has of course found its lead actress, and along with that and some specific comments made by James Gunn that reflect the casting process and what we heard about it, and also some additional details surrounding this film, it's definitely looking like we are getting a edgy reboot of Supergirl. Just how much edge is too much edge? Well, on this day, I can see clearly now what they're going for. This has got to be way different than the CW version, and it's also got to be way different than the DCEU version, which we recently saw in Supergirl. Naturally, the moment they announced what it was based on, you look at that comic and you go, oh yeah, this is definitely going to be different. So again, this came from James Gunn, who talked about how when this comic was brought up, it was different and it had a lot more edge to it. And then when approaching the casting process, he described Millie's role as something where you can see that she brings an edginess and this type of style to the character that's different than what we've seen before. Now, if you haven't read the comic, it's honestly mostly like a revenge tale, I would say. That's like a giant crux of it, and it's quite violent and murderous. And I think just putting all that together and them casting somebody from House of the Dragon, obviously Game of Thrones, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I think leans heavily into what they're going for here and how they want to structure this film in terms of being different. And then talking about the casting process, where we heard about a month and a half before the casting that Supergirl would be a lot more headstrong, independent, on her own, take nothing from no man. She can stand on her own. She's going to have this edge that we haven't seen before. It's all here, honestly. I think it's all here. It's all pointing towards a Supergirl that is going to be largely her own character. She doesn't have to depend on Clark saving her or anybody else. She can do anything they can. That's obviously what they're going to go for. So we'll see how this turns out on film and what else happens. But honestly, I'm just excited for a Supergirl film. It feels like it's long overdue, and it's about time we get one with a high budget treatment that's also not just backpedaling off a Superman story.